Did you ever have any dealings or any interactions with Eazy E by any
Oh,
chance?
Lil Eric. Yeah, Lil Eric. Well,
No, I just
actually,
didn't know if you had any interactions with him, or if you ever had any stories with him or anything like that.
I called him Lil Eric, but not Lil E. I meant to say Easy. Yeah, I had a few. You know, he was from Compton. He was Kelly Park Crip. A lot of y'all always go back and forth, whether he was neighborhood, Kelly, or Atlantic, or South Side. Those are the Crip gangs pretty much in the area, but he was pretty much claimed Kelly Park, Compton Crips. He's one of those that, again, where Keefe D gets mad at me about and all of that. And let me throw that out, too. And in the last comment section, a lot of y'all, when I said Keefe D was no longer with us, what I meant, not that he was dead or anything like that, that I didn't have anybody to tap at and go back and forth with because Keefe D is not here to help us give us content to go back and forth with. Not that he's dead. But I know a lot of y'all was disappointed with me and said, Red, nigga, you said Keefe D was going to be arrested by the end of the year. And that ain't what I said. I said they were stepping up the investigation, and I believe he will be arrested by the end of the year, which we all know didn't happen. But I'm still not saying that the investigation is over, and I'm still not saying that he won't be arrested. So let's take this opportunity right now to reset the dates, because I know all of y'all did up until this year. For any of y'all that want to participate, it's still there. That option's still there. So if y'all want to post the date for this year, or y'all gonna say Red just full of shit and it ain't gonna happen, and then one day we'll be able to sit here and laugh and say, y'all were right. But what did that nigga do after that? Huh? What'd he do? He ain't did shit. Been quiet as a church mouse. Ain't saw that nigga. Have y'all saw any sightings of him? Heard anything? Don't y'all know that the way people like to recycle interviews, that he would have been on one of these shows, Vlad, Cam Capone, somebody's show by now. Shit, even Johnny reached out. Johnny even said, fuck you, Reggie. This is my channel. I'll get some views off of that fool. And he even reached out to him and he was like, nah, I'll pass. So I tell y'all, if it didn't do nothing, it got him off the internet because his lawyers gave him some good advice. Shut the fuck up. But yeah. Oh, get back to the question. Easy, you know, like we said, we worked the Cowers and Compton video shoot. My dad is the one that ran that actually through the city for the police department. Met him on that set and saw him a few times there. Y'all got to remember, as cops back then, a lot of the younger cops like I was back then didn't really too much care for him. I did, but you know, my boys, the guys that was close with me, because he was still known for NWA success and the fuck the police type music and stuff like that. And so a lot of the cops had problems working it. But my dad was always the type of cop that, hey man, as long as niggas trying to do right, people trying to do right, they gonna get a break from me. They gonna get love, and Eazy and them was doing right, and so he put a crew of his loyal guys together, and they worked scaredy, and they did a lot of good shots, you know, in Compton. So met him during that time. He lived actually, he's a little older, he's about 8 years older than my wife, but they actually, their backyards will coincide with each other. And so their family, the Guillories, which they actually grew up in the in-hood area, they were actually tight with Eric and their family. I get questions a lot from some people that don't really know much about Reggie Wright, you know, which I understand, I get it. Is Eazy and I are related because we have the same last name. Well, no, my running joke when I asked that question, I always said, no, our ancestors just had the same slave owners. Which y'all don't know, that's where a lot of the blacks that don't still have their African names, they get their names from the the slave owners that they had back in the day because they lived on that on their farm or their house or their territory. And so that's how some people still carry their last names. That's why a lot of the people change their names back to the African names. And you get the Muslims big on that, where they change their names because they always said that that's their slave owner name and not their, their original names. So no, Eazy E and I are not related. But Eazy was a role model in Compton. He was one of the first popular people that went, I don't want to say worldwide, but I should, but at least nationwide, and put Compton on the map. NWA, I think, is known for that, other than, the athletes that eventually came from it that made it proud to be from Compton. That's when your Serena Williams and Tiger Woods and your DeMar DeRozans and your Anthony Andersons and all of them now want to say they from Compton. Prior to Eazy and NWA putting Compton on the map as they did, people didn't brag about being from Compton. A little trivia question, y'all don't know. Even y'all first George Bush Sr., well, he's not actually a senior because I think they changed their middle names, but the first president, George Bush, he lived in the Santa Fe Gardens, which is the 500, 600 block of South Santa Fe Avenue. And while he was going to Compton Community College, doing a summer program. And so, yeah, Compton had some history, but shout out to Eazy for helping getting Compton out there and known for other than, y'all say, a corrupt police department and gang violence. Yeah, that's all I can really honestly say about Eazy E. But the thing that I wanted to touch on, just clear up other rumors about Eazy, and the reason why I'm talking about Eazy so much because I do get asked comments in the comment sections a lot about any stories about Eazy. That myth that's out there was Suge, to keep telling y'all, DOC try to tell y'all, Suge is a fucking thinks he's a fucking comedian. When he made the crack or the quack or the joke about injecting Eazy with HIV and all of that. Suge probably couldn't inject himself with diabetes medicine correctly. And so that's just him being funny. Suge wouldn't knew anybody or known anyone to walk around with a syringe with HIV in it and to get close enough to Eazy to stick him. So that was just Suge trying to be funny. So let's clear that up. The part where Eazy said, I'm still getting paid, or Dre Day is a payday for Eazy. Well, yeah, that's a little truth. The payment wasn't coming from Interscope or Death Row. The payment was coming from a company called Priority Records. Priority Records had to deal with Eazy E. Brian Turner was very, very loyal to Eazy E, NWA, not Ruthless, but NWA. But he had a great relationship with Eazy. He's the one that kind of really helped and gave them their break. And so what people don't know is when Suge got Dre out of the contract with Dr. Dre out of the contract with Ruthless Records or Eazy E, Brian and Priority had what they call an inducement letter, or a letter where they were going to forever be able to distribute anything done by Dr. Dre. And so even though Suge got Eazy to sign off of it, Dr. Dre to be released, Suge either not knowing or couldn't or didn't want to. One of those three. I don't know, to be honest. Never got Brian Turner and Priority Records to release their rights to Dre. So when the lawsuit was going on and all of that, Eazy E and Brian Turner still have a relationship. So what Brian did is gave him a piece of his money that he was making from Priority Records off of Dr. Dre as he continued to give that money to Eazy E. So just like, and so that's where Suge got that idea for when Snoop. He said, okay, Brian, you're going to give me an override with them, just like I gave you an override. Let you keep an override on Dre when I released him, to Master P and No Limit and you. You're going to do the same for me that I did for you with Eazy. And that's how that conversation went, and the reason that Eazy always bragged to have make money off of Dr. Dre. And even till today, I really believe that's why Dre never was so active on giving money or doing deals with, or doing record deals. Because even to this day, Priority Records, along with whoever Interscope is in business with, be it was Time Warner or eventually Universal, they always was distributed by Priority Records. If y'all look on the back of any albums that's considered Dre's albums, was always distributed by Priority Records. And yeah, and so that's another rumor that's out there, or a little known fact about Eazy E. Eazy E wasn't a gang member. I can't see any Kelly Park Crips ever saying that he got in cars and did shootings or anything like that with them. But Eazy E wasn't no punk. And Eazy E, like I said, over anybody in my mind, should get credit for putting the city of Compton on the map. So yeah, shout out Eazy E and Eric Wright, Ruthless Records. Another thing that a lot of people always ask about on Eazy E, and like I said, the only reason I'm speaking on this stuff is because people always ask us about any Eazy E stories. So you say, well, why did Eazy E, why did his kids never, or they didn't get anything? Well, something I want to teach you guys, and I want y'all to learn about, is what's things called living trust. Man, if you don't want baby mamas or people that you don't have relationships anymore with to have control over your stuff, if you're a single man, or maybe even want to dedicate some stuff that's not community property with your wife, get a living trust, y'all. So, Eazy E, we all know, married Tamika on his deathbed. Why? Why did he do that? Why would he do that knowing he's about to die? Marry a woman. Did they make him do that? No. Eazy E knew how many baby mamas he had. Probably didn't like them. All his kids was under 18. So if Eazy wouldn't have married Tamika, or Tamika wouldn't have agreed to marry Eazy, what would happen, y'all, to his rights of Ruthless Records? Do y'all know? They would have had 8 different owners. Or, I think he had 8 kids. Don't quote me. I know y'all tear me up. But that many baby mamas and that many kids would have got that, because when you have kids, your kids are and you're not married, and you don't have anything in writing, they become your number one successors. And guess who become in charge of those 8 kids, or those kids, however many kids he had, until they became 18? They're usually their mama, but technically the correct term is their guardian. And so Eazy didn't want that to go to all those different baby mamas, because he knew that would have been hell. So he was smart enough to project or to think, let me marry Tamika, and hopefully Tamika will do the right thing and look out for my legacy, if that's what he cared about. I wouldn't give a fuck about my legacy, but some people do. For my kids. Now that's the debate. That's what I like to hear from little Eazy and his kids. Not the baby mamas. Of course, the baby mamas gonna always hate Tamika or have some disdain towards her. Did Tamika do right by Eazy kids? Because I'm sure that's the only reason he married her was do right by my kids, make sure my kids is good. I trust you to take care of my kids and not the different mamas. Where they would be all in a boardroom, couldn't decide shit. You know, I bring that up to say, why we always worry about Tupac and his issues and all of that and this stuff. But I know, I never get nobody questioning Tamika about did she do the right thing by Eazy kids? Or did she just take the conversation and say, just me and mine gonna do good. And I'll take care of Tyson Bedford. That's too deep for a lot of y'all. Y'all don't know about that. But yeah. Yeah, so those are some of the things that I have about Eazy E. John.